should have brushed my hair before I turned on the camera. It's the getting out of bed and turning on the camera without looking in a mirror for me. So today is the second episode. Every time I call something on my channel an episode, in my brain, I'm like, oh, she thinks she's fancy. But yeah, the second episode, the second vlog. It's the second day of my spooky vlogs. Today, I thought it would be fun to just spend the day or the next 2 days reading paranormal romances. I'm really in the mood for just like some really good, really cheesy paranormal romances. I want to read about vampires and werewolves and witches. So I could just spend the day reading vampire romances or reading shifter romances, but I kind of want to read one book from each like paranormal creature category. Hold on, I need to get my glasses. I'm a mess today. I can't find my normal glasses, so no, these are so obnoxious. Hold on. Where are my like normal glasses? This is why you should not just wake up and start filming. You should plan a little bit before you turn the camera on, because clearly I did no such thing. So I wanted to pick one book from each paranormal romance category. So like one vampire book, one shifter book, a witch book, and a ghost book. Vampires and shifters were very, very easy to find, but witch romances, for some reason, were very hard to find. The ones that I was finding were like witches were in the book, but it was mainly about a vampire or a shifter. So I asked you guys on my Instagram a while ago to recommend me witch romance books, and you guys sent me a lot, and I ended up finding one that sounds really good. I just want Charmed as a romance book. I want Twitches as a romance book. I want The Secret Circle as a romance. Seriously, if you guys have witchy romance book where the main characters are witches and it's like magical, not like, you know, in a different world, like witches in our world romances. That's what I want. I think I have a really good selection of books. So for the shifter romance, I'm gonna be reading Mating the Huntress by Talia Hibbert. This is a romance between a werewolf and a werewolf hunter, and it's by Talia Hibbert, so like sounds amazing. So then for the vampire romance, I'm gonna be reading Sacrifice by Katie Robert. I'm very excited for this because she is like one of my favorite romance authors. Actually, like Talia Hibbert and Katie Robert are probably like my top 2 romance authors. So I think that this is a polyamorous vampire romance. I really don't know much about it. For the witch romance, I am going to be reading Awakened by Moni Boyce. This does have vampires and werewolves in it, but the main character is an oracle, and there's like a witch guild of people or creatures that are protecting her. It sounds really good, so I'm excited for that. A lot of people recommended this to me on my Instagram. I kind of just want to have like a chill day. I was gonna start reading last night, but I finished watching The Haunting of Bly Manor and I kind of had an emotional breakdown. But we don't need to talk about that. I just want to make it known that I finished watching The Haunting of Bly Manor and I'm not okay. Like, that was so rude. I'm distraught. It's not fair. So the first book that I'm gonna read today is Mating the Huntress by Talia Hibbert. So like I said, this is a werewolf. Hello. My Postmates guy is outside the door. Okay. This is a shifter romance between a werewolf and a werewolf hunter, and I'm so excited. Like I said, Talia Hibbert is like one of my top fave romance authors, and I don't know if this is her only like paranormal romance, but she normally writes contemporary romance. So I'm excited to read like a different genre from her. You guys, this is so cute. Okay, so basically, like I said, we're following a werewolf and a werewolf hunter. At the start of the book, it's like the prologue, and we're following this huntress who is hunting down the werewolf, and they have an encounter, and he smells her jacket, which is her sister's jacket. As soon as he smells the jacket, he's like, that's my mate. We cut to the next chapter where we're following the main character, and she works in a cafe, and we find out that when she was born, a witch foretold that her first kill would rip out her heart. So her parents have forbid her from becoming a huntress because they're afraid that she's gonna die doing it, but she like really wants to prove herself. And we find out that the werewolf, his name is Luke, he's been coming into the coffee shop every day for like a month. And he's been like trying to work up the courage to talk to her and flirt with her because he knows that she's his mate. And she knows that he's a werewolf. He finally like gets the courage to ask her on a date and she accepts. And so where I'm at right now, she's about to head over to the date and I'm just like, this is gonna be so funny because he is so excited because she's his mate and like he's already in love with her and like wants to give her everything and thinks she's like the best thing in the world. And he also doesn't, he has like a hard time with human things. So he was like Googling, how do I flirt with a woman? So he's like very excited for this date and like making it perfect. But she's going to the date to kill him because she really wants to like prove to her family that she can be a huntress. So she's like all decked out with like her weapons under her clothes and like ready to kill him. Oh my god, I'm loving this so much. The best scene just happened. Like I really think that this is gonna go into like iconic Hall of Fame romance scene status. So they were at the date and they start, you know, fooling around. She is like on top of him, straddling him. And then all of a sudden, bam, she whips out a knife and stabs him. And his reaction to it is the funniest thing ever. She stabs him and he's like, oh my god, queen, pop off. Like it makes him like her more. She's trying to kill him and he's like, oh my god, this majestic, beautiful woman. Like right here, she has just stabbed him and attempted to kill him. And he says, it had all been a trap. She wasn't sweet or gentle or biddable. She was a bloodthirsty fucking murderer. His heart sang. Let's see. What do I want to watch while I eat lunch? Lately, I don't know what it is, but I have not been able to get into new shows. Like I keep trying new stuff and then I just end up rewatching shows that I've seen a million times. Like in my last video, you guys saw that I was rewatching Schitt's Creek and I've been watching a lot of Great British Bake Off, which I've seen many times because that's like my favorite comfort show. Ooh, are there more unsolved mysteries? I also have been recently rewatching Supernatural because I love seasons 1 through 5 so much. You know what, let's do let's do Great British Baking Show. Why try something new when I can just watch nice people baking delicious looking things?
You've got 2.5 hours to complete this challenge. On your mark, get set, go.
Oh. So I finished Mating the Huntress and I loved this. I'm giving it probably 4 stars. I definitely think it's the best werewolf romance that I've ever read. It was just so much fun, very steamy, very funny. I loved the werewolf character, Luke. He was just so sweet and so funny. I feel like a lot of the shifter romances that I've read, the guy or like the one who shifts is very like alpha male, because obviously a part of being a shifter is that they're kind of animalistic and they can tend to be very like aggressive and predatory and alpha and like a little bit toxic. But I loved how Luke was just like so sweet. Like obviously he had animalistic tendencies because he's a werewolf, but he was just like so soft. And yeah, I loved their romance. I don't know if Talia Hibbert is gonna write more of these, but she did make a new cover like a couple days ago, and on Goodreads it now says like #1. So I'm thinking maybe she's gonna write more. I'm like hoping and praying that she writes more because I want more books for all the sisters. This was just so much fun. I don't know if I'm gonna read anything else today because I don't feel very good. I'm like having a very hard time staying awake. So I think I might go take a nap and then see how I feel. If I'm gonna start something else tonight or if I'll just wait until tomorrow. They're all like relatively short, so I feel like I could read them all in the same day. Also, I just realized how much dog hair is on this shirt. Loki, this is why I don't wear things that are black. The twin daughters of the sun and the moon were born on Halloween. Last night, basically, I didn't read much more. I did start a book though. I started Awakened by Monty Boyce. This is the witch romance. I read just the first chapter and then I ended up watching Twitches and falling asleep. But I did listen to more of Awakened this morning while I was getting ready, and I listened to like half of it. It's not very long. The audiobook was only 5 hours, so I'm halfway into it and I'm really enjoying it. This was exactly what I wanted when I said I was in the mood for a witchy romance. So basically we're following this woman who discovers that she's an oracle. She's basically like the prophet. She can see the future, and she keeps having these dreams of this very scary vampire. There's this guy who's her coworker who's like, she's very attracted to him, but he's very standoffish to her. He refuses to talk to her. She like gets the impression that he doesn't like her. But it turns out that he is part of this protectors guild of witches whose sole purpose is to protect the oracle. So she finds out that him and a lot of other people in her life are actually protectors. Her dog turns out to be a werewolf and is like a really attractive man. Is there something you need to tell me? Because if you're actually a man, I will kick you out so fast. I don't care how cute you are. I don't know why he looks like he got scared all of a sudden. You're being suspicious. Anyways, so yeah, she finds out that all these people in her life are actually there to protect her from this ancient evil vampire who is looking for her. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's kind of got like a forbidden romance because protectors are forbidden from like having relationships with the person that they're protecting. So the guy, Eli, is forbidden from having feelings for her, but he does. And she obviously has feelings for him. And they have to get like close together because he's training her to use her powers. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. So I only have, let's see, an hour and a half left. So I can finish this very quickly and then I will come back and let you guys know my thoughts. So I just finished Awakened and I loved it. I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars. It ended on a cliffhanger that was like probably the most interesting part of the book, and now I'm like so excited to pick up the next one. I really liked the romance. I liked Eli. I liked the main character. I really liked all the people in the Protectors Guild, specifically Max, her dog slash werewolf. They had a really cute relationship where he was just like, was very attuned to her emotions and just like really protective of her, and I liked that. But the end, I am so intrigued by this vampire. Like, he's the villain and he's supposed to be like very scary looking and evil, but I'm like intrigued. I want to see more of him. I kind of ship him in the main character because I don't know, there's a trope that I love where characters can only communicate like in their dreams, and I really like that. And something that happened at the end, I'm like, oh, maybe I'm just built different. If you're gonna put an ancient, evil, scary vampire in a book, that's gonna be the person that I'm the most drawn to. I don't make the rules, I just simply follow them. I did just want to quickly, oh my god, it's so heavy. I did just want to quickly show you guys the Belle book box. I have had this in my apartment for a couple weeks and I've been like trying to find a video that I could share this box with you guys. This is a romance book subscription box. They were kind enough to offer me a box to show you guys. So we are just gonna open this. I haven't opened it yet, but like I said, it's been sitting in my apartment for a couple weeks. So the first thing is this backpack that is like actually really nice, and it says book hoarder in this really pretty script. It's like a really perfect everyday size. The next thing is this really nice mug that says a book a day keeps reality away, and that's so cute. And this is like a pretty nice quality mug. The next thing is, oh, so this is like a string of fairy lights, which is really cute. I use these all over my apartment for decorating, so I will definitely put these somewhere. There's this, let me see if it'll focus. There's this pin that says, what does it say? I love you with so much of my heart that none is left to protest. Then there are, oh my god. These are dangerous. There are sour gummy worms. You guys, I have an addiction to sour gummy worms. It's so bad. I will get like the really big, like giant bags of them and then eat it in one day. This is dangerous for me to have in my apartment. I'm gonna hide it from myself. I'm gonna put it on a really high shelf. That way I can only get it down when I really, really, really want it. The next thing are these bookends that say book. And then we have, I think that's it for the items. So what's left are the books. First book in here is Kiss My Cupcake by Helena Hunting, who is an author that I've read a couple books from and I really enjoyed them. So this looks kind of like it's a rivals to lovers romance about a woman who opens a cupcake and cocktail shop, and then a guy who opens a sports bar right next door. The next book in here is Parallel by Elizabeth O'Rourke. Ooh, whoa, this sounds interesting. It sounds like in one of their past lives, they were in a romance together, but in this life, she's engaged to somebody else. Oh, that sounds good. All right, the next two books are part of the same series, and that is Bad Liar and Beautiful Liar by Lauren Rowe. Lauren Rowe is an author that I have really, really been wanting to read from because of Brie from In 11 Words. I think that Lauren Rowe is like one of her favorite romance authors, and so I've been very intrigued. And then the last book in here is a hardcover, and I believe that this is exclusive. Ooh, and it's signed. Oh my god, wait, are all of these signed? Oh my god, I think they are. That's cool. So yeah, this is two books, I think. It looks like it's about two people who were childhood friends and then they have a one-night stand and something goes wrong. Sounds really cool, and I love this cover. It is so pretty. So that is everything that came in this Belle book box, and I will have a coupon code in the description where you can get 10% off. If you're looking for a romance book subscription service, definitely check it out. Ew, y'all are like right up in my double chin. The next book that I'm gonna read is Sacrifice by Katie Robert. I'm definitely in a vampire mood right now after reading Awakened and wanting more of the vampire. Ooh, the main character is half human, half vampire. It says she has none of the perks and all of the weaknesses. And her father finally finds a use for her. He sends her to Malachi Zion, the last vampire in his family. My role is to play resident blood bank, and should Malachi knock me up, my father gets access to a whole new bloodline to control. So it says the longer that she spends with Malachi, the more she realizes he's not a monster. But then his two friends show up and complicate things. Say no more. The content warnings are dubious consent, blood play, breeding, abusive parent, and cliffhanger. I'm very excited. Does anyone else do this? I will get Starbucks and I'll get a venti and then I'll drink half of it and save the other half for the next day. Like I'll put it in my fridge and save it and then just heat it up in the microwave. Am I weird for that? I also save half a bagel. Actually, quick change. My Kindle is currently like completely dead, and that's where I have Sacrifice on. So while I'm waiting for that to charge, I'm gonna read The Necromancer's Bride by Brianna Hale. This is the cover. It's only 60 pages, but I've heard it's super weird. This story is a dark fantasy romance with scenes of non-consent and dubious consent. Additionally, Merriman is a necromancer and enjoys unusual things. Some sex scenes might be strange or creepy for some readers. I'm a little nervous, but I'm intrigued. I like weird things, so I'm gonna read it. Like I said, it's only 60 pages. Ew. What? Don't even know how to explain what I just read. Okay. Okay. So this is weird. And I don't know if it's weird in a good way. Okay, so basically this is a fantasy. We start in the prologue with a little girl who has come down with some sort of sickness and she's dying. And her parents call on this necromancer who's like ancient and scary and lives in the mountains. So the necromancer comes down and like kisses her hand and takes the sickness from her. And she's now left with this like black spot in the middle of her hand where he kissed her. So now she's all grown up and everyone in the town thinks that she is a witch and has been marked by death and evil, and a lot of other kids are getting sick now and they blame her. So she goes to the mountains to find the necromancer to get him to save everybody like he saved her. And he makes her stay the night in his like mountain castle or whatever it is. This video, I'm gonna get demonetized. There's no way. She just got woken up in the middle of the night because she was being fingered by a dead corpse hand. Yep, I'm already 30% in, so I'm gonna keep going. And I feel like it's gonna get weirder. What the fuck? I didn't even get 5 more pages before something even weirder happened. So now she finds this one potion that's like a slimy goo that she's convinced is the one that's gonna save all the kids. So she's like trying to steal it and she accidentally knocks it over and it breaks, like the glass breaks. And then he comes in and like sees it and the goo like starts moving towards her and up her leg and then up some more. What the fuck is this? First a corpse hand, now slime? Who comes up with this stuff? Like, I know I like weird stuff, but wow. I don't even know what to say anymore. I can't talk about this anymore. This video is gonna get taken down. No! He just put a leech on her. Like, there's a leech on her. People have recommended this book to me. What the hell's wrong with y'all? Okay, so basically, they gave at least a little bit of a reason why he keeps using weird things. A long time ago, a demon fell in love with him, and he didn't love her back, so she cursed him. And so now he can't have sex or do any sexual acts. So that's why he's like using other things, but like, has homeboy never heard of a vibrator? He skipped sex toys and went straight to slime and leeches. Weird, but okay. Now apparently she loves him because that makes sense. I feel like you guys aren't gonna care if I spoil the ending, so they got married, she broke his curse, and they have kids. You know, because that's totally the direction that this type of romance should take. The moral of the story is that even half-dead necromancers who basically are like corpses, they can have a happy ending too. They can get married and have kids too. What was that? That was really weird. No, I'm not even gonna rate it. I don't know what I would even rate it. I thought that Jessica Kane was like really bizarre and out there. Brianna Hale said, hold up, if y'all wanna get weird, we'll get weird. I feel like I need to go watch something like normal to cleanse my brain. All right, I am gonna start Sacrifice now. And let's see. It says I will finish the book in 1 hour and 55 minutes. Okay. So I finished Sacrifice by Katie Robert and I really, really loved it. I don't really have a lot to say about it, honestly. Like, it was Katie Robert. It was a vampire book and I really enjoyed it. It did leave off on a cliffhanger though. Snap, snap, where's the next book? I know she writes books really fast, but I don't know if she's said yet when the next one is coming out. To be honest, I don't think I've read a lot of like adult vampire romances, and this was definitely like up my alley. I mean, obviously like Katie Robert is one of my favorite romance authors, but like you really know what you're getting with her. All of her books, not the same, but they're more or less the same. Like if you like one of her books, you're probably gonna like most of them. She's amazing at sex scenes, probably one of the best that I've read. I really liked her take on vampires. But yeah, I'm getting really tired. I've been like up filming since 7 a.m. so I'm exhausted and I still have to edit this video, so I'm gonna end it here. I did have a lot of fun reading these paranormal romances. Am I like going in and out of focus? I feel like my camera does not know what to do with this pink light. So yeah, I read 3 really great romances that I gave 4 stars. Meeting the Huntress, Awakened, and Sacrificed. And then The Necromancer's Bride, we don't need to ever talk about that again. That's gonna be the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next spooky vlog.